We could do that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Brian. When you're writing music, do you write a melody first, or do you have a groove in mind and you put melody to that, or how do you go about writing?
That's a tough question because music just, it comes out of you. Usually what I do, melody is usually the main thing. Groove is always the toughest to find a good rhythm for something. It's always tough. Melody usually is what comes out first, then form, and then you got to come up with some sort of a groove. What I used to do, I used to write like every day. I used to write a tune. I mean, really write a tune. I mean, this is some. I mean, like for a year, you got 365 tunes. You know, just sit down and make yourself write something that you think you haven't heard before. And but of course, you know, my concentration level, I did that for about a week. But I kept that sort of attitude, and I came up with writing like really incredible amounts of stuff, lots of music. And what I finally started doing was I'd come up with some new music, and then go to sleep on it. Don't write it down. And then if I remembered it the next day, then I would write it down. And that's when I knew I had something good. That's about it. That was like where I cut it.
Do you remember like a real nightmare gig that you played where everything fell apart or was pretty critical?
Several. You usually bail them out somehow. I've had some bad gigs. Not too many, fortunately. But you know, there's lots of times where, you know, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. There'll be weather against you, especially with outdoor concerts are tough. That's times when lots of things can go wrong. So sometimes you be in a funny club, things can go wrong easy. Club owner don't dig you. You know, you go on and fight with the guy before you go on, and something's going to go wrong. But yeah, I've had a few. So we got way back there.
Yeah, when you played with Ian Hunter a number of years ago, was that like session work, or did you know each other beforehand, or?
No, I just met him. The guy that had set up my first record deal was also working with Ian Hunter. Was his boy, and he thought it would be good, seeing that I was coming out basically as a jazz sort of guy, which they were pushing me as, to come out immediately, and I did a rock and roll album, which was a very good album. They didn't push that either. That was a very good album. Yeah, people talk about that. That's fun, yeah. And that was a good album. I don't know what happened to it. I should have pushed it. Same old thing. But that was just that was management. The guy that had signed me to Epic Records also was managing Ian Hunter. That's how we got together.
How have you done with management? Like, were there times early in your career when you thought,
I get the shaft today. What are you talking about, man? Shit. Management and music just don't mix. Period. That's the end of that.
Or do you have somebody who takes care of all your?
Well, I've had like one person that worked with me that, you know, he was a roadie of mine, and I just got him to start doing a business for me. You know, I've never had a real manager. You know, with Weather Report we had one. You know, wasn't. You know, of course, we split from them too. I mean, that's a weird thing to get into. Managers are managers. That's what they do. You know, we're playing, and they really don't think about us too much. There's only a couple of really good ones out there.
I just want to know, on your fretless tone, do you get that just from your attack, or do you have your action set really low for that?
No, my action is not that low, as a matter of fact. It's sort of high. Not real high, but high enough to get good tone, you know. My real instruments are over in New York right now, so it's not that easy to really show you all that much, you know. But just medium, you know, average. It's not real low. I can't play with the action real low because I play very hard.
Might get a lot of buzz.
Exactly. where are these guys at that could play?